Hi everybody, this is Dodie Pager with Artistry 4004. Today we're going to be making a card that has multiple use possibilities, and to save some time I have pre-cut everything that we'll need. And I will be providing the dimensions in the comments section. So right here we have a piece of strawberry slush, and has been run through the I think it's Soft Waves embossing folder. I have a piece of Coastal Cabana, and then I have a couple of sheets to be used for stamping and cutting, and then finally I have this tiny little set of leaves, so I'll put those aside for now. So let's start first by stamping our flowers. Now these flower stamps come from the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. The last I looked, it was still available. However, it may go out, but you could really do this technique or make this card with any floral stamp set you have. So I'm going to start first by stamping the leaves, I guess you'd call them. And notice that I'm not stamping right on the paper. In some places I will be, and in other places I will stamp off. Next I'm going to stamp on the beginning part of the center of the flower, and then finally the center. And just repeat. So this one we'll put right in the center. And actually I'm going to come over here and do some of the other parts or the other flowers. And one last one over here. Then let's go back with our center. So right here I'm going to go in, and another center, and another one here. And then this one, it's actually hanging off the page, so I don't need to stamp it. And then finally, the real center. Okay. I'm going to put this aside for just a second. And then I'm going to take another smaller piece of paper, and on this I'm going to stamp one more flower that will be cut out. So there's my flower. And next, center number 1, and then center number 2. Now let's go ahead and open up our card. This is an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock, folded at the 4.5 mark. And I'm going to open up, and just like I did with the strip that I just finished, I'm going to stamp my flower down in the lower right corner. Then my little center. Oop. And another center. And next to my flower, I'm going to stamp Healing Hugs. And let's put this aside. Finally, let's go ahead and stamp the greeting that will go on the front of the card. It says, "Thinking of you." And if you want, you can also stamp on the front of your envelope as well. And again, it just makes it really extra special for whoever is going to be lucky enough to receive your card. So stamping that little flower. My green center, or Coastal Cabana center. And then finally, my Timid Tiger little center. And now all of my stamping is finished. Now it's time to put our card together. That one piece that we stamped the flowers on gets cut into 1.5-inch wide sections. Now, before I did that, I marked the top of each sort of in the right, left, and center so that I would be sure to keep the pieces in the correct order. You can use either white glue or you can use tape runner. It's really your choice. And I like to place the center piece first. And we're going to center this on the Coastal Cabana. The side pieces actually don't get butted up against the center. Instead, we have them hanging off a little bit. So we're going to put the right one on. Oops. The good thing about the white glue is it gives you a little bit of time in case you need to move something around. I said around and I moved it around. By the way, it's a really good thing that I did some of this off camera because I couldn't find one of my dies that I needed to use. So I started to have a little bit of a panic there, but everything came through fine. Now we're going to take the piece of strawberry slush that has been put through the embossing folder, and I'm going to use my white glue again to attach it. And let's see how close we could get it to being centered. All right. And then we're going to attach this on top of the strawberry slush, but we're going to make it look a little bit extra fancy. So we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on it to have them be popped up on the page or on the card. I got a great tip from another card maker, and she said to push your fingernail or thumbnail into the back of the dimensionals, and that flips them up just a little bit, making it a little easier to remove. If you're a card maker, I have a question for you. Or what's the strangest place you've ever found a dimensional? Now, I have a little bit of a mark there, so I'm going to turn it around, and let's go ahead and put the card right there, or this piece right there. So you notice how it's popped up just a little bit. Then we're going to take those two little leaves from before, and we're going to attach them to the back of the flower. So in addition to cutting the panel into 3 pieces, I also cut out the flower using the included dies. So it really doesn't matter on this one where we put it. The flower really doesn't have a top or a bottom. So it's sort of your choice where you put them, put the leaves. So let's see what, all right. There's that beauty of that white glue. And I'm going to hold it down with a Stampin' Dimensional. And let's go ahead and add this to the card front. I'm new, very new at making videos to go on my YouTube channel. And I would really, really, really appreciate it if you would like this and share it and even follow it. Or subscribe. See, I told you I'm new at this. Whoop. I did put that on a little wrong. Yeah, well, it'll have to go. And then finally, let's go ahead and put our thinking of you on the card front as well. So I live in Naples, Florida, and it is Wednesday, January the 28th, and it is cold. So do you see how I'm going to use this greeting and put it over that little ink blob that I had? Oh, there's a backing. But wait, we still have one more thing to do. We're going to finish this card with some sparkles, because who doesn't like sparkly things? So these are the pearlized faceted circles, and let's put one here. I could have also used that to cover up a little oopsie if I needed to. And let's put one here on the greeting. And finally, let's have one on. You want to put things on in odd numbers, and you could either do one of two things. You could line them up in a straight row, sort of like these are, or you could put them in a triangle shape. So there's the card, all ready for you to send to a favorite person, maybe someone that is having a little tough time, and this just makes them feel a little better. Thanks for coming by, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.